Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis. Welcome to today's video. Today it's going to be episode 4 of Eldar Craftworlds Codex Analysis, taking a look at the troop section. We've got 5 units to cover, so I won't dally with long intros. If you've missed the previous sections of this playlist, make sure to click the link in the description, take you to Eldar videos or Codex Analysis, and you can have a full catch-up and then come back to this video. So, with all that out of the way and my notes tab opened up once again, let us begin. Starting us off, we have Guardian Defenders. These are your basic troops. They are 90 points for 10, so 9 points a model, not bad. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 3, weapon wounds 1, initiative 5, 1 attack, leadership 8, and a 5+ save, which is kind of good. Like, that's guardsman veteran level stats with an extra point of initiative and I think an extra point of weapon skill. So pretty good stats for 9 points. You are suffering with the 5+ save though. They are infantry, and their sergeant, rather than normal, is actually a warlock. He's a psyker, so we'll come back to him. So the Guardians themselves have mesh armor, which gives them the 5+ save, a shuriken catapult, and plasma grenades. We called plasma grenades before. They are throwables, strength 4, AP 4, 8 inch range. The shuriken catapult is 12 inch range, strength 4, AP 5, assault 2, with the Bladestorm special rules, so 6s to wound are basically AP2, so it's kind of pseudo-rending. If you take a Warlock leader, same as before, Rune Armor, Shuriken Pistol, and Witchblade. We covered the Warlocks in the last video, but I'll recap them here. So Rune Armor is a 4+ invulnerable save, but no armor save. A Shuriken Pistol is 12 inch range, strength 4, AP 5 pistol with Bladestorm, and a Witchblade is basically a Armorbane, Fleshbane, strength user melee weapon. They have Ancient Doom, Battle Focus, and Fleet across the board, and if you take the Warlock leader, he is a Mastery Level 1 Psyker, who generates his powers from Scentic Demonology and Runes of Battle as normal. We covered Runes of Battle earlier in the series. You can take up to 10 additional Guardians for a full-size unit of 20 for a further 9 points a model, so a full-size squad is 180. If you take a Warlock leader as well, that's 35 points for him, so 20 guys with a leader is 215 points. The leader mirror bases Witchblade with a Singing Spear, which is a throwable weapon that also functions as a Witchblade. So in melee, it's strength user AP nothing, Armorbane, Fleshbane, but at range, it is strength 9, AP nothing, assault 1, Fleshbane, with a 12 inch range, which is the same range as a Shuriken Catapult. It's 5 points, you should pick it up. The Warlock stats, by the way, are identical to the Guardians. 4, 4, 3, 3, 1, 5, 1, 8, but with no armor save, the 4+ invuln instead. For every 10 Guardians in the unit, you may add 1 heavy weapon platform from the following list. A heavy weapon platform is not artillery, but it's kind of artillery. It's toughness 5 with 1 wound and a 3+ armor save, so it can't really fight in melee for you or do anything else, and I believe it is crewed by the Guardians themselves. It doesn't actually explain heavy weapon platforms on the Guardian page, and they're like the only guys who take it. So I'm going to have a quick look at Vol's Wrath support batteries to see if that clears a few things up. Because that's like what I believe they are, is Vol's Wrath support batteries. So give me a moment. So no, completely different thing again. Never mind, I'm wrong. So it seems like it's a small piece of artillery with 1 wound. It doesn't have a ballistic skill, which is a weird thing, but I'm assuming it uses the unit's ballistic skill like artillery, so treat it as ballistic skill 4, I suppose. If someone knows better, then feel free to tell me in the comments, because it's not really very clear here. Anyway, so the weapons it can take, for 15 points, you get a heavy weapon platform with a shuriken cannon. This is 24 inch range, strength 6, AP 5, assault 3, Bladestorm. 15 points, big long range gun, not too bad, and it fits the rest of your unit's weapons. You may take for also 15 points the scatter laser, which I'll be talking about a lot later. This is 36 inch range, strength 6, AP 6, heavy 4. Again, this is a kind of gun that your Guardians will be using anyway, because it's an anti-infantry gun with a high strength. It's pretty good, although it isn't mobile, whereas the Shuriken Cannon is. Something to consider, particularly with battle focus. For 20 points, you can get a Bright Lance. This is a pseudo-las cannon, 36 inch range, strength 8, AP 2, heavy 1 with Lance. This means it's always planting those heavy vehicles on 4s and pinning them on 5s, and its AP2, it's a pretty good gun. For 20 points as well, you can take a Star Cannon. That is 36 inch range, strength 6, AP2, heavy 2, which allows you to snipe off heavy infantry, which can synergize with the Bladestorm rule, but it has such a long range and being heavy that perhaps not, although it's not terrible because you will be getting some AP2 out of your unit if you can roll a 6th wound. Finally, for 30 points, you get the Eldar missile launch. Now this has 3 fire modes, not just 2, 3. So it has flak missiles built in along with the typical frag and crack missiles. They're all heavy 1, and in its blast form, it is 48 inch range, strength 4, AP4, heavy 1 blast. So it's a better frag missile. In its flak mode, it is 48 inch range, strength 7, AP4, Skyfire, heavy 1. And in its regular mode, 48 inch range, strength 8, AP3, heavy 1, it's a crack missile. So it's just an objectively better rocket launcher with flak missiles because its blast mode is better. Is it worth 30 points though? I mean, it is T5 with 3 up saves, so it's hard to put down, but you will be rolling against toughness 3 because majority toughness in the unit is a thing. It's a lot for 30 points. I think the Shuriken Cannon fits the Guardians the best if you want to move. If you don't want to move, then probably Rocket Launcher, Scatter Laser, Star Cannon. It really depends on what your army needs. And you can also take a Wave Serpent as a dedicated transport. We'll be covering Wave Serpents in 2 videos' time, actually, because they're now under Fast Attack, I believe. Yeah, they are. They're under Fast Attack. They have a capacity of 12 for the record, so that's 11 Guardians and a Warlock, and it will cost you 110 points to take it. Now, Guardian Defenders are less mobile than the other unit we'll be talking about in a moment, but you can run with this option, particularly if you have a heavy weapon support platform such as, Shuriken Cannon, because you're going to be able to move with it. Although I think you're probably best with this one, playing it quite passive, being quite static, to a degree anyway, with the heavy weapons and then some psychic nonsense. The alternate is Storm Guardians. These guys are also 9 points a model with exactly the same stats. Weapon skill boost skill 4, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 5, 1 attack, leadership 8, and 5 plus save. And they can also take Warlock leaders who have the same stats, but no armor save. Instead, they have the 4 plus invulnerable. In terms of unit composition, you have a minimum size of 8 rather than 10, but still have a maximum size of 20. And your war gear changes slightly. So you still have mesh armor, shuriken catapult, and plasma grenades, but you also gain a close combat weapon. I don't know why you gain a close combat weapon, other than thematic reasons, because you don't get an extra attack for it, as you don't have a pistol. Your leader still has rune armor, shuriken pistol, and witchblade if you take him. Ancient Doom, battle focus in fleet. Warlock is Psychomastery level 1, with Santic Demonology and Runes of Battle as usual for 35 points. As I said, 12 additional Guardians, 9 points a model, full-size squad, still 180, plus 35 to 215. Warlock leader Meribase is Witchblade with a Singing Spear, 5 points, easy, do it. Up to 2 Guardians can exchange their close combat weapon and Shuriken pistol. Wait, what? They have Shuriken pistols. Oh, that's why. More typos in my version of the Codex, folks. They have a Shuriken pistol, not a Shuriken catapult. My bad. My bad. So they do get the +1 attack thing. Up to 2 Guardians may, however, exchange their close combat weapon and pistol for one of the following. A Flamer, which is Strength 4 AP5 template, Assault 1 as usual, 5 points, or a Fusion Gun for 10 points. This is a 12-inch range, Strength 8 AP1, Assault 1 Melter. It's a Melter Gun, basically. So Flame for 5, Melter Gun for 10, but you lose the extra attacks if you go into melee. Honestly, I don't see the point of these guys, but you can take 2 of them with Power Swords. They go Shuriken Pistol Power Sword instead for 15 points a model, and again, you may take a Wave Serpent, preferably if the unit size is under 12. This is a unit you want to keep small. You maybe run this with a Protective Close Combat Autarch, with a leader, pile them into a Wave Serpent, rush them up the board, and then charge in. Wave Serpents are not assault vehicles, they're not open-topped, but it's a combo that you might be able to execute nonetheless. Definitely pick up at least 1 Power Sword, because you might well need it, and I would recommend a Fusion Gun, or a Flamer, depending on the opponent you happen to be facing. Fusion Gun for most things, though you don't have Haywire Grenades, so killing tanks with this unit is not very viable, and Runes of Battle doesn't really do it either. You do have some good powers in Runes of Battle for your units, so make use of them. They are quite useful. Personally though, I prefer Guardian Defenders. I think they're a bit better all round because while they don't actually lose any range, the Storm Guardians lose a lot of weight of fire. They lose a shot per guy. They lose the heavy weapon option, and the defenders can still get the Warlock and the Witchblade and the Wave Servant and move around just as much, but have more shots and less close combat attacks. So I think the Guardian Defenders in this meta are slightly stronger. However, both of them are completely eclipsed by Wind Riders. These are your Eldar Jetbikes. Yeah, don't like them. So, 51 points for 3 dudes. So they are Weapon Skill 4, Ballistic Skill 4, Strength 3, Toughness 4, because Jetbike, 1 attack, Initiative 5, 1 wound, Leadership 8, 3+ save, because Eldar Jetbike. And as I said, they are Eldar Jetbikes, which has a slew of benefits. So, they get the 3+ armor save, they get a twin-linked Shuriken Catapult, so take the weapon the Guardians have and twin-link it. They can turbo boost for up to 36, and if they choose not to, even if they shot or arrive by deep strike in that turn, they can move 2d6 in the assault phase, treating terrain as per the movement phase. This makes them more mobile than everything else in the flipping game. As I say, you get a unit size minimum of 3. They have mesh armor and the Eldar Jetbike. You don't need the mesh armor because the Jetbike gives you a better save. And you also have the option for a Warlock, who basically you should always be taking. He has Rune Armor, a Witchblade. He loses his pistol, but he still has the Jetbike, so he has the Shuriken Catapult anyway. Ancient Doom, Battle Focus, and Psychomaster level 1 for the Wind Rider Warlock only, using Demonology, Santic, and Runes of Battle. So, you can take up to 7 additional Wind Riders for 17 points a model, meaning a full-size squad of 10 will set you back 170 points. And the Warlock will cost you 50, so a fully kitted out squad is 220. You may replace your Witchblade with a Singing Spear. There's no reason not to, so do it, 5 points. And any Wind Rider may exchange the Twin-Link Shuriken Catapult for one of the following. A Shuriken Cannon for 10 points, which doubles the range and adds 2 strength and an additional shot, so it's pretty damn good. Or the infamous Scatter Laser. Now, Scatter Bikes are rant-worthy in and of themselves because they are basically what break Eldar along with their psychic bollocks. Excuse my language. Because a Scatter Bike fires 4 shots at strength 6. It is a V6, I admit, but it's got a 36-inch range, so you'll be firing it from turn 1. You can ping around in the assault phase. You can blast around with a 36-inch turbo boost if you want to. And you're as tough as a Space Marine. Yikes. And for 10 points a model, which takes you guys up to 27. 27 points a model. Ooh. What does that remind me of? Oh yeah, a Tau Crisis battlesuit with a flamer. What is that? What? No. Nonsense. Yeah, Scatterbikes are really, really good. And if you add in the Wind Rider Warlock, you can potentially give them +1 armor save, or maybe reduce that Guardsman's armor save to a 6+, so they just get melted, or even just reducing anything's armor save thanks to Jinx. Or maybe you'd prefer some other buff or nerf that Runes of Battle can give you. Or heck, you could even go for Demonology Santic if you had run out of things to do with the Farseer Skyrunner that you're undoubtedly running. So yeah, Wind Riders are just good. And honestly, I wish I could say there's a reason not to take them. But there really isn't. They're just that good. And MSU Wind Riders are really powerful. They just are. Little units of 3 bouncing around the board, all with scatter lasers, just ruins stuff. It's not fun, but it's powerful. Ugh. I don't like them. Sorry, guys. They are really, really powerful, but the amount of hate these guys get is pretty much deserved, as combined with Farseers and potentially Wraith Knights and stuff, they're what's making Eldar the problem. Just stop being troops. Anyway, moving on, we have the Eldar Rangers. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 5, 1 attack, leadership 8, 5+ save, and you get 5 rangers for a cost of 60 points, so 12 points a model. They are infantry, they are armed with mesh armor, ranger long rifle, and a backup shuriken pistol if they need to move. And again, another typo, because it says they have an Eldar Jetbike, they don't. Sorry, nonsense. So the Ranger Long Rifle is basically a sniper rifle, 36-inch range, strength X, AP6 sniper, so always wounds on 4s, 6 is RAP2, kind of standard really.
And the Shuriken Pistol, we know how that works, we've seen that 1,000 times. They have Ancient Doom, they have Battle Focus, they have Fleet, but they also have Infiltrate, Move Through Cover, and Shrouded, which means that you can set them up in some cover, which they can move through really easily, and they have a +2 to the cover save in it, which means that even in the most basic terrain, they have a 4+ save or a 3+ save from cover. So they're really good at getting set up in a nice infiltrated position and then pinging stuff. But the problem is, you can only have a unit of 10. You can have an additional 5 guys, 12 points model, so total size of 120 points for 10 dudes. But they're not going to kill that much, because 10 sniper shots, you're only going to get 6 or 7 hits, more likely 7 hits, and then 4 wounds, 3 wounds on average, and you may get 1/6. It's not really good when you're AP 6. So Rangers are cool, and I really like them, and if they work, then they're great. But compared to the other stuff, I think they're one of the weaker troop options, though you do see Scout Snipers in Space Marines, so maybe they have more purpose than I'm giving them credit for. Finally, for the episode, we have the Dire Avengers. These are the first aspect troops that we're going to come across, and they are pretty damn good. So their weapon skill was skill 4, strength 3, toughness 3, with 1 wound, initiative 5, 1 attack, leadership 9, and a 4+ save from their aspect armor. Their Exarch, who is basically their sergeant, is a lot better. His weapon skill was skill 5, strength 3, toughness 3, 2 wounds, initiative 6, 2 attacks, leadership 9, 4+ save. So he's really good, and he's also a character. And you pay 65 points for 5 basic guys, so that's 13 points a model. You have Aspect Armor, 4+ save, an Avenger Shuriken Catapult, and Plasma Grenades. The Avenger Shuriken Catapult, we covered it last time, 18 inch range, strength 4, AP 5, assault 2, Blade Storm. So it's basically a Shuriken Catapult with 6 inches of more range for nothing. That's pretty good. So you're paying 4 points over a Guardian to gain a leadership, a point a save, and 6 inches range on your gun. That's actually not terrible. They have Ancient Doom, they have Battle Focus, they have Fleet, and they also have Defense Tactics. When chosen as the target of the charge, a unit that consists entirely of models with this special rule can either fire Overwatch Ballistic Skill 2 or gain counterattack and stubborn until the end of the phase at the cost of Overwatch. So this is really good depending on what you're being charged by. If you're being desperately charged by something that you know you'll just wreck in combat, then you can pick counterattack and stubborn for if they have a negative leadership modifier on them or something. I can't think of one right now, but some aura creature might give out -1 leadership. There's a Tyranid brew that does that. Or Overwatch BS2, which is generally the more powerful tactic, because it will allow you to murder things. Your Exarch also has an extra special rule, which gives them a 4+ invulnerable save. It's called Battle Fortune, and it kind of is just good. So he has 4+ invulnerable save on top of his 4+ armor save, which is pretty nice, which means he's actually quite good in challenges if you kit him out correctly. You can include the 5 additional Dire Avengers, 13 points a model, so a full-size squad is 130, and 1 guy may be upgraded to an Exarch for 10 points. Do it. You gain an extra attack, an extra wound in your squad, so you're paying 10 points instead of 13 for an extra wound that also has an invulnerable save, and better stats. Just do it. The Exarch may replace his Avenger Shuriken Catapult with one of the following. You can twin link it for 5 points, which is kind of nice. You can take a Power Weapon and Shuriken Pistol for 15 points, which is okay, but I don't think it's the most powerful option. You may take a Dire Sword and Shuriken Pistol. Now, a Dire Sword is a Strength User AP 2 melee weapon, but if you cause an unsaved wound, for each unsaved wound you cause, then you must pass a leadership test or die. The enemy who takes the wound must pass a leadership test or die per wound. You only have 2 attacks, well 3 because you have 2 weapons, 4 on the charge, or if you counter-attacked. So if you can cause 2 wounds on a decent character, then they have to pass 2 leadership tests or die. And if they're not leadership 10, that's pretty favourable. So Dire Swords are really good. For 5 points over a power weapon, you should probably be taking a Dire Sword over a power weapon every single time. The other option is a power weapon and Shimmer Shield. Now, a Shimmer Shield, I don't really know why you'd ever take it on an Exarch, unless I missed something. Because as far as I read, a Shimmer Shield is a 5+ invulnerable save. I'm going to go and check I didn't miss anything when I went through that. So, it's 5 points more than a Shuriken Pistol and Power Sword to take the Shimmer Shield and Power Sword. And what do you get for it? Realistically, let's find out. We'll find out together. a Shimmer Shield. Oh, gives his unit a 5+ invulnerable save. Oh, right. For the unit. So that gives your whole unit 5+ invulnerable save, and you a power sword but no gun. Depends on the army you're facing, but that might well be worth it for 20 points, just to say, okay, here's a 30-point guy, he's got 2 wounds and a 4-up invuln, my entire unit has a 5-up invuln, oh, and I have a power weapon if you want to charge me. Hello, good night. Honestly, it does say power weapon, not power sword, so you may want to consider investing in a power maul, because you've got a high initiative, you can make it stick. I think you either go with the Twin Link, the Dire Sword, or the Shimmer Shield. Don't just take power weapon and shuriken pistol, because for 5 points more, you give up your gun to give the unit a 5+ invuln, or you upgrade your sword to be AP 2 and has leadership test penalties involved, or leadership test or die tricks. So, very good options on Dire Avenger Exiles. You'll be taking him anyway, because he's just good for 10 points, give you an extra wound in the unit, and stuff. He does have the ballistic skill 5, but he also has weapon skill 5, so which weapon you trade into is entirely up to you and your particular playstyle. And as we've said before, with the Guardians, you can take a Wave Serpent as a dedicated transport if you are worried about getting your Combat Exarch to the face. If you're going with a Wave Serpent, go with the 2 melee options, I think, rather than the Twin Link. If you're going to sit at range, go with the Twin Link, or maybe the Shimmer Shield if you want to protect a unit that's going to camp an objective. It's up to you, really. So, they are the Eldar troops. So, Guardian Defenders are good, they're cheap, they're decent value, and the heavy weapons are actually really quite nice. Storm Guardians are really cool that they're there to have combat troops, because it's something that you sometimes don't see, but they are probably just worse than regular Guardians, because you get +1 attack for -1 shot, and you're always going to be hitting on 3s with your Guardians to hit at range, but you will not always be hitting on 3s in melee, even if you do have a decent weapon skill. A lot of things in this game are weapon skill 4 or better, so unless you're fighting basic troops, you will be hitting on 4s, not 3s, so Defender is better than Storm. Although the Warlock fits quite nicely in Storm, because there are some quite nice defensive and offensive spells, like Jinx, or the equivalent of buffs your armor save. So, it might work for you. Eldar Jetbikes, Wind Riders, yeah, we know how powerful they are. I don't need to tell you that. You'll probably be using them every time, because they're just that powerful, particularly considering that Farseer Skyrunners and Warlock Conclaves on Jetbikes are really, really powerful as well. It's kind of sad, but you'll almost certainly be taking them. And if you take Warlocks inside the units, it's an option you don't have to, because it is quite a big investment for 50 points, particularly if you're going for MSU, but you have that option if you want to. Rangers, I wish Rangers were a little bit better. I mean, they're good at sniping, they're quite survivable if you get them set up correctly because of Shrouded, but there's a fair bit of ignorance cover in this game, particularly from Tau and other things, so you may not get the value out of them you want. Dire Avengers are really good, they're quite tough for your troops, but they're not as tough as Wind Riders. They can have an invulnerable save, which is nice if you take the Shimmer Shield option. The Exarch is really good, and they will outclass Guardians in most ways. So if you've got the point, Dire Avengers better than Guardians, although you can take twice as many Guardians in a unit as you can Dire Avengers, so both options are viable. Next time, we'll be taking a look at the Elite section, where we really get into the Aspect Warriors. We have Howling Banshees, we have Striking Scorpions, Fire Dragons, we have Wraith Guard and Wraith Blades. So we've got some real cool stuff to look forward to next time. I do hope you can join me for that. For now though, time to end. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis. Until the next time, see you all again. Bye for now.